So society standards say that you become a statistic if you don't have two parents in a household.
African Americans have been historically disenfranchised in this country, from slavery to Jim Crow to segregation. You know, as an American citizen, you're guaranteed certain freedoms, right? One of those freedoms happens to be freedom to education. We know that for African American citizens, that this freedom has not always been true. However, in the late 1800s, with determination and support of certain allies, historically Black colleges and universities were born. HBCUs have historically been a safe place for African Americans to explore academia, celebrate and embrace their culture, and again, matriculate towards upward mobility, because that is the point. We often hear about the HBCU experience and what makes our HBCUs so great and so rich.
For me, going to HBCU was almost inherent. Like, I was meant to go to an HBCU.
You know, a lot of times HBCUs are institutions that give people chances who wouldn't have a chance anywhere else.
When we talk about racism, right? People are taught racism, right? So there are some people in the world that have a capacity that can't reach the capacity that they have met for themselves. When George Floyd died, you know, something hit my spirit and I'm like, this is crazy. So it was my responsibility as somebody who has a thriving business to stand in solidarity with the community.
We were really angry, of course, about what happened, and we wanted to do something. When I'm not worried about proving to people that I matter, you know, I can start interrogating, okay, you know, what are some other things that as a member of the Black community, I should be caring about, I should be fighting for. And some of those things for me, like, you know, looking at class disparities with LGBTQ plus people in the Black community, and not having to worry about trying to prove again to people that I matter, you know, those are things that I can now interrogate and look into and explore. And I think that's also a beautiful thing because it opens up a whole realm of topics and just disciplines to explore when you're not having to prove why your survival matters, why your life matters.
Oh no, you're not the first one who's been in this battle. You're not the first one who's in this fight. So let me remind you of all of the people whose shoulders you were standing on so you can continue to carry out this work in the way that you've been called to do so. So like representation is so important in that way because it's like as Black people, we have to be given permission to do things, right? Like we have to see others and be like, oh, I can be president. Oh, I can be in Congress. Like, so it's just that little example for me was like, I can do a lot more than what I'm doing right now. I just didn't know that I could. Setting me up for success is reminding me about the shoulders that I do stand on. It's never just about me, right? Like being a student of an HBCU is a commitment to a community. It's a commitment to the culture.
Button. Please donate. If you have significant influence, if you have the money, donate.
Partner with us. Use us. We're resources. We're in your communities. We're not too far from you. So partner with us. We're doing things. You're doing things. Why don't we do them together? You know, pave a path forward together. So partner with us, talk to us, use us as resources. We're here and we're really here to stay. So